How
you, bro?
Hey everyone, welcome to Love Reality Games podcast. My name is Josh, and we've got Vince here today, and we have another person here with us. We're going to be discussing Canberra Survivor Season 1, episode something.
8. I think 8.
Episode 8?
Yeah. We don't have any viewers yet. We can chat shit.
Oh, no viewers. Oh, what a surprise! Nobody's watching this.
Oh, there's one person.
Oh, great.
I don't know
cool.
why I'm here, to be honest. I thought I was joining in half an hour.
Okay, well, you can come back. We'll let you go.
Okay.
Oh, there's a few people.
Oh, on the
yeah,
YouTube
sorry.
as well.
Yes. Please welcome Ash, our goddess of Survivor Canberra. Ash, how are you today?
And she's lost signal.
Well, yeah, we can see Hopper is announcing his presence.
Ash, how are you today? How was your day?
Oh, fucking delightful, mate. Loving life. How's your day, Josh?
Yeah, great.
That's good.
Ash, following up with Dom's sort of exit interview from last week, do you have any bombshell stuff that you want to share with us after Survivor Canberra, or like during viewing, like any like sort of gossip, drama that you're willing to share?
Look, not really. I think that I had a very warped sense of my gameplay throughout the whole fucking time that I was out there. I thought, and I've voiced this to a few people, I thought I was playing shit. And genuinely, when you're out there in such a short time, you fucking believe that you're playing shit. Oh shit, I just spilled something. Anyway, you believe that you're playing shit because you don't have the overall perspective of your game, from other people's opinions and all that kind of stuff. So when I walked out of the game, I genuinely was like, okay, I played all right, but I was kind of shit. So that's why I was so fucking like, they're dumb for voting me out. Like, I've done nothing. I could never win this. Like, all that kind of stuff. And I did think maybe if I sat at the end with Charlotte and Brendan, maybe I could have won. But at the same time, I was like, that was a very tentative maybe, considering like Charlene's social queen and Brendan is like the snakiest fucker in the room. So I was like, I don't know why they would vote me out when I've done nothing. I'm just here. But it turns out, watching it back, I did something. Don't know what, but I did something, I guess.
Yeah,
so
you flipped.
Yeah, you were there. You were there.
Yeah,
you played. Yeah, you were there.
I was there. I was in the building. Yeah, no, but you just get a whole different sense watching it back, because then you're like, oh, okay, I didn't do too bad. Could have done worse. So, yeah,
I feel like, is it because you don't go to tribal that much during the pre-match and period? That's probably you feel like you haven't done a lot of sort of, because you only how many tribals you go to, like 3,
like 4, I think.
4? Yeah.
We went to 4 tribals, and on the 4th one I was voted out. And I think you start to like, you can still see gameplay prior, but when you're sitting in a fucking circle singing Kumbaya, and look, I love my red tribe so much, but like, we sang a lot of Kumbaya, and I made that very apparent. But like, it's so hard to see yourself doing well when you're sitting in a circle with the same people talking about our lives instead of getting up and doing gameplay. So it's probably relevant. Yeah.
Okay, let's circle back to this episode, Josh.
Yeah, let's discuss. Yeah. So we get the fallout of Alex and Keegan being voted out. We see Charlene being quite upset. I love when people get upset. Sorry, that sounds bad, but like, I thrive on watching like people being upset on these games.
Shocking.
I love it. It's great. It's good. It just shows emotion. It just shows personality. It shows.
Okay, we know. You don't have to elaborate on that.
Okay, no worries, Vince. That's fine. How did you feel about the emotion that was brought into this episode?
Well, it's mostly like the sort of from the residual from last episode. I think people got too. I don't think they feel bad because if Charlene really feel bad, if Jeremy really feel bad, they could have just said like, "Nah, it's okay, Alex, you stay. Like, we're meant to go. Like, our name's up there." So, clearly they wanted to be in the game more than Alex. So, I think they.
I mean, Alex didn't want to be in the game anymore. Clearly, she voted herself out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Behind the scenes, she went for a nap, I believe.
Oh, did she? Oh.
Once she was voted out,
she wasn't in the car. Oh, she was in the jury, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. She was.
Yeah. So essentially, we go straight to the challenge. There's nothing really interesting that happens, but prior to before the challenge, touchy subjects. A bit late, yeah.
Yes. I don't think it's too late, but I think Ash, I know you love a touchy subjects. I'm aware.
I do.
I think I love the idea of it, but I think it needs to have sort of I think this one. Were you, Ash? I don't want to ask you a question. Were you aware that if it goes to tiebreaker, they're gonna ask you Australian Survivor questions, or wasn't in there?
To be honest, I don't remember, but I do remember. I don't think so because I do recall at the end. I have no idea, but I do recall at the end being like, holy shit, I would have sucked at this anyway. So great. I'm glad I'm out. So it's possible that they didn't say it, but I don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah. That's the only thing with this. I feel like if I think every challenges, they need to have a plan with like, if anything happens with the tiebreak, what's the tiebreak? You have to announce beforehand instead of dropping it. No, because you can tell like people in the cars don't really watch Australian Survivor like with the questions. I think they only asked 2 questions with the Pia and Baden. Yeah. So I think you can tell like Jeremy doesn't watch, I think, and someone who doesn't watch, someone I can't remember the name. Yeah,
there's Jeremy Hopper and Ben all tied on 3 points or 4 points.
Yeah. So
let's talk about the questions. There was only 5 as well.
I think they can definitely go over more. Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting like, who don't you like? And so I wanted like cut
more spice. Like
we already sort of really got like who's gonna win, who's a backstabber. Like,
but I feel like when you start putting in more questions, you get the same responses. Like, who don't you like? Obviously, people are going to gravitate towards someone like Brendan, who is a backstabber and a snake, as judged by the other question. So you're obviously not going to put up anybody else but the same person. So I think you start to delve into the same answers for different questions if you add things like that.
I think they can ask more like sort of not game related, like who like I think we had this like who you don't want to bring to see your parents, that kind of question, like something more fun like, to start with,
who,
and then like
who in life has the least amount of friends, and like just stuff like that, like just I want like cutthroat questions that aren't the same as the other ones, and I want like
who's gonna be single.
Yeah, I do. I want to destroy people's confidence in their game. I want and that's what I see touchy subjects as.
Yeah. I think we got a lot of more game focus.
It did do its job. It actually like dictated like a lot more of the game. I think touchy subjects. I think touchy subjects got you voted out.
Yes,
personally,
I agree.
I
think touchy subjects led to paranoia, which is what got me voted out from Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So I think the sort of the one pops up is that who's running the game. Everyone said Brad.
And Brad said Ash.
You. I think that's the one who got you kicked off. That sort of he's trying to protect himself and switching the target to you.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Yeah.
So we get Ben wins again. So Ben's won 2 individual immunity in a row now. Is he a challenge beast?
No.
I don't think so. I think I've got the immunity necklace, so I'm happy with my jury. I don't know about Ben, but I don't think he was yeah.
Ash, I do have a question regarding like everyone thinks Hopper is a goat. Like, can you elaborate on why everyone's perception on that?
I think it's based around the fact that he was playing and still is playing a very sneaky, deceitful game that is very under the radar and underappreciated, because I would equate, and I've had conversations with people about this, I would equate his game now, looking back on it, as similar to mine but less social. So I think that people were seeing him as a GOAT because he wasn't having those social, like, he didn't have the social connections as, like, tight, I think, with certain people. I had the chance to obviously build trust with Brad when I voted with him. I had the chance to obviously build a really good connection with Charlene and Ben. But Hoppo had all of his connections voted out. He was really close with with Karleen. He was really close with Keegan, or not really close, but this is my perspective on things, but he was closer with Keegan, Karleen, and people could obviously say completely different. This is just my perception. And they were all voted out. So realistically, I think he was undervalued in a game sense when you look at it because of the social connections. That's just my perspective on it.
When people call him a GOAT, though, usually a GOAT follows a herd and will follow the vote, right?
Yeah.
Hoppo has not done that at all.
No.
So to me, I think Hoppo is not a GOAT, purely based on that reason, right? A GOAT is somebody that follows. He has chose every single move that he's wanted to do. He has, and I think his game is really undervalued because he has had pretty much sway in every single vote in the merge. He has had pretty much prime opportunity to take out whoever he's wanted to. Yeah.
I agree.
So I feel like when people call him a GOAT, I feel like it's more of a GOAT is more of a connotation of like, we just don't want you to win. Like,
I think
we don't like you in this game, and that's why he's been called the GOAT. To be honest, I don't think there is many GOATs in this game. I think many people, like a lot of people, have had their own say. If I was to say one person, potentially Charlene. Out of the six, potentially Charlene. That would be the closest person to following the vote in my eyes.
Well, I agree with you, Josh. I think in the sense, the GOAT in this sense is more like, you're probably not going to win this. Yeah. But I think with this sort of game, like, I think it's really like, do they define what the GOAT is? Like, because we've been using GOAT. Like, everyone in like Watch Survivor know that GOAT means. I'll be wondering if Alex see the question and be like, who's the GOAT? Like, what do you mean? Is the GOAT greatest of all time? Like, how do you if people don't know what it means in Survivor, like, how do you?
I think there was only one person at the end that didn't probably know what it meant, though, and that probably would be Charlene. Because everybody else left in the game knows Survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone has like Survivor knowledge, right? So the only person that probably didn't was Charlene. I'm not saying like Charlene's a GOAT at all. I'm just saying that, like, she was the person with the least knowledge of the game at that point and was following the vote with Ben. However, was it Charlene pulling Ben's strings? Yeah, was she pulling Ben's strings, or we don't know. Like, I haven't seen that side of it yet. I haven't seen strategy talk between Ben and Charlene at all. I have no idea.
I feel like it's a mutual sort of decisions. Like, no one's like pulling, like, Ben's not controlling Charlene and Charlene's not controlling Ben. They just come together, make a decisions together. Yeah, so I think that's my perspective for watching that. Yeah. So, and I think, do anything want to add the challenge itself?
Not really. Other than like everyone just hating on Brendan. It was pretty much everyone hates Brendan and Brad will win. Like, that's what I got from that.
Yes. And then the paper, like, people struggling, especially Ash, like, flipping.
The paper was fucking hard, okay? It was difficult. I had multiple names to flip through. And, okay, there are times, though, and by all means, I never would have won that challenge. But there was, when I put myself up for, like, people don't want to see win, no offense, Brendan, but I was putting you up, and I changed last minute to me, so I didn't hurt his feelings. But in saying that, I was never going to win that, so it didn't matter that I threw that fucking question. It doesn't matter. So it was fucking hard. Don't judge. Like, you flip through paper with freezing cold, wet hands, Vince.
I wasn't judging. I just say it's funny that people struggle with the flipping paper in the multiple parts.
We will get that on. We will get that on the next podcast.
Oh yeah,
flip through paper.
Yeah. I want that. Wet hands.
Of course.
Yeah.
We can put it in the next challenge, like a survivor challenge, like flipping paper.
Yeah. So after challenge, we get to the strategy side of things, and this is where things go absolutely haywire.
Three people get taken away though.
Yes. We have to rewind.
Oh yeah. This is a really bad choice, I think.
Okay.
Personally,
I have. Why are they giving sausages when you guys can eat croissant up anyways?
Because I think it's more so a strategic move. It has nothing to do with the food. The food means nothing. It's literally just to drag 3 people away. And to be honest, I think that was the vote changing like move of the whole thing. And I think that's because Brad didn't have a chance. Like Brad and I were working pretty closely, I'd say, for the past couple votes. If we had a chance to talk straight after the challenge, then we might have been able to flip it onto Brendan, like I had mentioned in my confessional. But because we didn't get a chance to talk straight after the challenge and he went and spoke to Ben first, he was in defensive mode and he had to throw someone under the bus, and that was me. I don't know.
I think choosing the 2 people on the bottom is the complete wrong choice here. Ben has always shown his strategy like fully out in the open, and it's constantly something he does, and I don't think it's good. However, I feel like the people left at the game don't really give a shit about him showing his strategy out in the open. Like, you don't pick the 2 people on the bottom. That just looks like you're going to go work with him straight away.
Well, to be honest, he does have Charlene like babysitting Ash and Hoppo, so I don't feel like.
But that gives so much time for Ash and Hoppo to talk to him and be like, "Oh, cool, he didn't choose you. Clearly, he doesn't like you anymore."
Well, but Charlene's really comfortable. But
Charlene doesn't know the game as well, so she's also going in with doubt as well. There's also a doubt like clouding her mind.
She had a confession saying that she's happy that Ben did the choice because she can stay here and talk to Hoppo and Ash and find out more information from them, and then Ben's gonna find out more information from the other side. So I think obviously if Ben thinks Charlene has doubts in the relationship, obviously he would have picked Charlene. But I think it's a correct move to leave your number one ally to monitor the conversation on the other side, and then you can control the conversation on the other side, and then both of you meet together, and then you can discuss. Obviously, this doesn't work out well. I don't know why.
I completely disagree. I think you take one person from the bottom and you're number 1.
But then why?
So the people on the bottom can speak to each other. You've also got your number 1 there as well. So
realistically, you take Jeremy or Brad, and then you take Charlene if you're Ben.
Correct.
I don't agree with that, but you do you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's why you're first food.
Yeah, because I'm clearly a threat.
I trust Ash more because you made it quite fast.
Yeah.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you get a bunch of quitters in front of you. Anyway, good job.
I'll take it. Go on.
I don't think it's the right move. Anyway, I disagree with that. Ben later on we'll find out what happens to him. So Ash's we see Ash's confessional, and she's talking about how Brad has to go, and she has to make the move now because there is no other chance that she can make this move, and that she has to put her trust in her fellow rival Brendan.
How'd that go?
Do we think this was a bad move? Like, do we look back, and I consider looking back at the final 8 and the fact that they got rid of Keegan over Brad. I still think it's I think that's a wrong move.
I disagree.
Looking at what's just happened, Keegan is much of a bigger threat than Brad ever will be.
Well,
right?
Josh,
and he's no.
Holy shit, no.
Hindsight is 2020. You can't.
No.
Right, because
No, I even said last week. I said I would have taken out Brad.
Okay, but here's the reality of taking out Brad for myself and Brendan, who are literally in the middle of two sides at this point, right? And Brendan knows where he's at. He's a clever person. He knows what he's doing. He knows if he takes me out, he's the sole person in the middle of two duos, right? If we took out Brad in that situation, that leaves Keegan as another free agent to deal with. Jeremy is a free agent. Keegan is a free agent. They're not coming together. Charlene and Ben are the two pairs that are together. Do we split them up and then just have 5 free agents at Final 5? No, that's so dumb. Like, you'd rather keep on someone you're working with and be a swing vote between two pairs than, like, leave Keegan in the game to win challenges and be, like, a wild card.
Can you bring up Matt's comment for me, Vince? All right. I want to talk about this because I feel like you get rid of a challenge threat at before the merge happens. Or you keep them in later into the merge, if they're still there. Because they become the big shield for you. They become the person that's clearly going to be the target of everyone and everyone's eyes. And I feel like not taking out Brad at that opportunity where you had it, I don't think it's the right plan, personally. Well, that's just my thought.
But I think Brad and Keegan are equal threat. Like,
no,
how are you
I don't think so at all.
I agree with Vince. I think that the problem is that Keegan is a massive physical threat. Brad is he has managed to swing the votes onto his side even though he gave me credit for it, which I really appreciate because it boosts my fucking ego. But like, he managed to swing the votes off all of the blue people on the swap tribe. He managed to keep himself and Jeremy in the game to this point. And I'm not discrediting Jeremy at all. I'm just saying he is a massive social and strategic threat. Keegan, clearly from his fucking tribal council where he preached about how shitty he is at the social game, he's a physical player. He's great at his social game, but he's not gonna take it out for the social and strategic element because he's so busy trying to hide the fact that he's a massive challenge threat, or at least get past that element. So I think they both in different realms are huge threats, and I think that either way you're going into the end game with a massive threat.
I'd rather go with a challenge threat, though. Like, I'd rather go to the end with Keegan than Brad.
A wild card challenge threat who has no allegiance to anyone?
Yeah, I'd rather go to the end with that than Brad, who has a massive social connection, plus has all these tribals he's gone to, plus has a big strategic aspect as well. He also get rid of the fact that Jeremy and Brad were working closely together. He also negate that going into the final six.
We didn't know either that Alex was going to go until the last minute.
No, but you did though. So you voted on from what I've seen.
Yeah, the second one.
Yeah, so Alex went before you guys voted.
Last minute, we would have had to have had a discussion at Tribal to figure that out.
Of course, but like there is time there, and like one vote would have changed it as well.
I think we coming in circles on that. So let's just move on that. That's the last episode. We're talking about this episode. Where did we left? So Brad preached to Ben about voting for Ash. And then we also have Ben's perspective. He wants to vote for Harpo because he thinks he wants to keep all the threats together, like Josh, you said, like all the threats together, and we vote out the GOAT essentially, and then everyone's free for all. And then I think in the sense of threat level, he's kind of in the lesser level compared to like Brad and Jeremy. I guess that's what he plans. I don't know. So what do you think about Ben's idea?
About like the 2-2 split?
No. About voting out Harpo and that instead of Ash, keeping all the threats together.
I think I think threats should always stick together. Moving into the merge side of things. I think it makes the most sense that threats should keep each other in. However, I don't know. I think at this point when like Hoppo's the clear person that everyone can beat, I think that's where you keep him. I know he's going to take, and especially in Ben's situation, because Ben essentially has everyone he can work with. He's not going anywhere. He has immunity as well. I think that's where you keep Hoppo around and you get rid of a threat then. I think it's a perfect move for Ben to not do that. I think he chose the wrong idea to take out Hoppo, and I do agree with taking out Ashley here. I do. I think it's the right move by Brad.
But before then, you just say you need to keep the threat, and now
No, you have to keep the threats together, but there's still 5 threats. There's 5 threats out of 6 players. You've got Charlene, Ben, Brad, Jeremy, and Ash. There's enough threats there. You could get to the end with still 2 threats, or 1 threat at least.
Keegan, that's a bit biased, but okay.
I think that the problem with taking out, like, I think that this was a good move I think this was a defensive move from Brad. He didn't have many other ways to go after he just got pegged as the biggest threat in the fucking hemisphere. This was a defensive move. He thought, fuck, everyone's coming after me. I have to throw Ash under the bus because, like, what else am I going to do? And he knows the game so fucking well, that man. I hate him for it. But, like, he knows that what a shield is. He knows what I'm doing. He knows exactly how I'm playing, and we've worked the closest together. So his defensive move to take me out was brilliant. Ben, on the other hand, there's a whole fuckery of stuff that happens before that's later down the track. But Ben, I don't think this was the best move for him. And I think it was an accidental move, but he can correct me if I'm wrong.
What do you mean by... So he didn't vote with them. You guys voted for...
he ends up voting for Jeremy, I believe, or Brad.
He gave Josh the biggest boner because he caused a 3-2-1. Josh loves the 3-2-1.
I know. The person who caused the 3-2-1 is Hopper.
Oh, it's Brendan, yeah. But, like, it doesn't matter who caused it. You're just, like, all over the 3-2-1.
But here's the thing. And this is the one thing I don't understand about this whole tribal is everyone called Brendan the person that's got a flip on everyone. And he's going to stab somebody in the back. But everyone's just like, let's trust him. Let's give him a chance. And I'm just like, why are you guys doing this? Why? Like, he's clearly got a flip.
What about Hopo? He's unpredictable. Just vote him out.
And, like, if the guy's unpredictable, you got to vote him out. However, I agree with Brad and Jeremy for targeting you over him any day of the week.
I agree.
I think Brad and Jeremy played correct here. However, like, Hoppo's got full props here. Like, somehow he gained trust after touchy subjects, which he shouldn't have actually had, and did probably the biggest move so far, other than Karleen's vote out. I think them two are the biggest defining moments.
I feel like the reason they don't look at Harper because they have this, like, laser focus, like Brad laser focus on Ash, and Ash then laser focus on Brad, like, because she already said, like, if I don't get one of them out, I'm not gonna win.
Brad's move was defensive, and so was mine. Yeah, if I had my way, in my confessional, I said I wanted Hoppo out before Brad, but I couldn't do that when Brad was playing so defensively.
Yeah. Okay. And then I think that's probably, and then now that it just locked on each other, and then I think Hoppo would be the correct move for everyone else. It's just that
not Brad and Jeremy.
Not great for Jeremy, but yeah. So we see the reward that they pitched to Ben about, like, you, and then Ben's like and then you guys pitched to vote for Brad, you, Charlene, and Hoppo. And then when they come together, I think there's a scene between you and Hoppo. Like, you guys talk about voting for splitting the votes, essentially.
Yep.
And then you did mention that he's on the list as well. Like, I think you mentioned, like, oh, are they gonna come for you too, or are they gonna come for me?
So basically what I was saying to him was, Brad and Jeremy have told you my name. They've told me your name. Like, they're going after one of us. So, like, let's force a 2-2-2 and we vote Brad on the revote. However, before this whole trusting Hoppo thing wore out pretty quickly. You don't see it because it would give away the whole tribal and everything we were trying to create. Because I'm pretty sure it happened very last minute. And Charlene, Ben, Hoppo can all, like, Hoppo said this to me. At the last minute, we said to Hoppo, I said to Hoppo, vote Brad, right? Charlene said to Ben, vote for Brad. We were trying to make it a 4-2 because I was like, nah, we're not trusting Hoppo. Or, like, at that point, I actually just trust Ben and Hoppo because of the reward. So I said to Charlene, let's just make it a 4-2. This was literally seconds before tribal. Like, oh my God, the amount of time Charlene and I spent in the shelter, like, we're having a moment. we were having a moment, I tell you. But like, we spent about 10 minutes in the shelter, which is critical time when you're on such a short time limit. So at the last minute, when we finally were walking up to tribal, we're like, no, let's like, this is not like this. We don't want to trust him. So we did try and make it a 4-2, but Ben didn't. And I don't know the conversation between Charlene and Ben. I just know that I said to Hoppo, vote for Brad. And then Hoppo got sketched out by that apparently, because he was like, oh, you're just flipping it on me. And I'm like, well, no, I'm trying to save my own ass. But he obviously got sketched out by that and just went straight on me, which is like what caused the 3-2-1. But yeah, that's just from conversation though after the game, like where I've spoken to Charlene and Ben and been like what, you know, what happened. So by all means, in the moment, maybe that wasn't communicated as clearly, but yeah.
So the 2-2-2 is that you and Hoppo vote together on Jeremy, right?
No, it was Hoppo and Ben vote for Jeremy. Me and Charlene vote for Brad, and then Brad and Jeremy vote for one of us, and it was obviously going to be me. But the thing is, right, that 2-2-2 plan, that was a dumb move by me not to put myself on the Jeremy vote instead of the Brad vote. So
and then you and Charlene voted for Brad, and then Ben voted for Jeremy because he wasn't in the plan, basically. Is it?
Yeah, because Charlene and I trying to flip the vote to a 4-2 happened very last minute. So he mustn't have got the memo as clearly as I thought he did.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's quite confusing. That I was like, oh, like why that he didn't vote, you know, the way it meant to.
So essentially, we were trying to cause a 3-3 tie in the end if Hoppo flipped, or a 4-2 if Hoppo didn't flip, but that didn't work. Yeah.
I think that sort of explained the tribal council and the whole strategy talk. Would you have anything to add, Josh?
I mean, like I just said it before, like the fact that Hoppo had every single bit of intel this tribal council makes absolutely no sense. From anyone's side of things. I think it obviously helped out Brad and Jeremy. I just don't understand why people gave him intel after everyone just said that they were gonna be backstabbed by him. It just doesn't make any sense.
Idiots, okay?
Yeah, that's what I got from it. To be honest, when I was watching, I'm like, these guys are dumb.
Ash, I do have a question for you. Do you think Hoppo flipping accidentally flip because he got freaked out is the correct move for him to further himself in the game? Or
I walked out of the game obviously with a warped perception of my game, thinking I was shit. But looking back on it, it was a great move by him. I got to the jury afterwards, spoke with Keegan about it actually, and we had a good conversation where we were like, okay, but I went in and I was like, fuck Hoppo, he's dumb. Like, that was a stupid move. I'm voting for one of the 3 boys. Like, that was a really dumb move by him. But then when I had the conversation with Keegan, he was like, yeah, but look, he's put himself in a split between 2 pairs and he's the swing vote. And I'm like, okay, realistically, that's a good move. Like, props to Hoppo. Great move. So I think, like, good move by Hoppo, good move by Brad and Jeremy. Ben, I think, I don't know whether it was purposely done or whether he just didn't care, whether, like, I don't know Ben's thoughts or logic, but I think the 3 boys who made the move on me did a good fucking job.
Well, I just have a sort of follow-up question with that. So you think Hoppo flipping is because it's intentional, not because of reactionary of what he freaked out? Are you saying that he intentionally do this so they can further himself?
I think I don't know whether he intentionally. I think he had always distrusted me because we always had our beef and our side issues going into this. So I think he always distrusted me. So I think that whether it was a move that I think he's watching, he can correct this. Whether it was a move that he genuinely was like, yes, I'm going to make this move, this logically makes sense to me, and put my name down, or whether it was, fuck, I think she's trying to flip it on me, I need to protect myself, so I'm voting her. So whether it was purposeful or not, and he was obviously saying that he was voting me, but I was also saying I was voting Brendan to Brad and Jeremy. So Yeah, I don't know. It's what he says, and I think whether it was an accident or not, whether it was not an accident, but whether it was a freak out or not at the last minute, it was a good move, and he still like gets 100% props for making it. Because he essentially walked up to the voting booth and put my name down, which is, you know, a good move by him.
Yeah, I think well explained. So Ash, Josh, you want anything to say?
Yeah, like we said in other like podcasts and stuff like that, that Ashley's name has never came out, and we never actually spoke about Hoppo. He's the same.
He is the same.
He's the same, and I think there's I think now after seeing like this tribal, it just showed me like how much intel the guy gets and like how well, weirdly enough, how well he's playing, like, and how many people hate him. But that's the issue. Not many people think he will win, so that's probably why he won't win, because he hasn't had the social connections. But he has been a strategic beast.
I definitely think he's not getting one vote from the one jury member. That's for sure.
I think here's my take on Brendan, right? I think that he's played a great strategic game for the times that he's been to tribal, which is like not very many. It's the same as me. I think he's played a great strategic game. I think that he is going to struggle going forward, and this isn't a spoiler. I'm not fucking spoiling. I'm making assessments based on where we're at the moment. But like, where he would struggle would be his social game, because where I had the chance to build bonds with Brad, he didn't. He didn't vote with Jeremy. He didn't build a connection with Jeremy. Where I had a chance to bond with Charlene and Ben, I think he was busy bonding with Karleen, and in like a sense Keegan, because Karleen and Keegan were close. So I think that his social game is where he's going to struggle, and he's also put people in the jury like Dom, who is obviously an interesting member of the jury. We love Dom, but
definitely interesting.
Yes, he's on the jury. He's going to advocate very strongly against Brendan. At the point where I entered the jury, I was advocating very much so for Brad more than anybody else, because I didn't. Looking back, I see the comparison between, I think, mine and Brendan's game, and I think we both played the middle ground in the early merge up until the point where he voted me out, and now that's a great move. So I think, looking back, I see the correlation between us playing similarly and him getting the upper hand in the end. But at the time, I didn't see it as much, and I was definitely advocating for Brad more than anybody else, because I'd worked with him the whole time. I saw his game laid out on a platter in front of me, because I'd been doing it with him from the point where Karleen went home to the point where I went home. So yeah.
To be honest, yours and Brad's game has been like, you've been pretty much with Brad like halfway through his game.
Yeah.
pretty much.
He 100% has the upper hand, because he's been to more tribals and he's done the voting out of his like whole fucking tribe. But yeah.
And all the women.
And all the women. The girls and the gays tried to come together this round, and what happens? A fucking straight white man swoops in and takes us all out. Cool.
Well, Ash, I do want to touch on point that you saying that the connection, the building relationship, because unlike the real show, we do have limited hours. So when you come to merge, you have to, because I fall into the same sort of safety net that like I have my people, I don't need to talk to these people. Like we barely have time to talk about a vote, and then add on top, you have to build connections on top of that. So I find it really hard. So I think anyone who's played trial, like, you need to be sort of people. If you don't talk to that people, they don't know your game base. Essentially, they will only bounce off of other people's perception. They will only vote for people they spend a lot of time with, regardless of how well you did, because they don't see it. They don't see you talking to other people. So
I feel like I feel like also, like, because you didn't merge before the night before, you didn't know you're merged going into, you pretty much like had the feeling, but like you didn't know, right? Plus you also didn't stay on site, so you also didn't get that extra time as well to speak to each other and build like relationships, and that, like, going into like this next day, everyone's still got like the same like thoughts of like the person the day before. And if you haven't talked to anyone, like, you know, you didn't speak to Jeremy at all until the merge, right? And you only voted with Jeremy twice in 2 tribals. That was it. So, like, you know, there's been like no sort of like relationship between you and Jeremy.
I haven't voted with Jeremy once.
No, you didn't vote with him, but you've only been to 2 tribals.
Oh yeah.
Because of the split tribal and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But like, you know, I think that's one of the issues as well that I think will like hinder people like Brendan, who probably would have made massive relationships and friendships over the night that you had there as well. And like obviously more people would have seen different people's sides of the game as well. So I think that's played a massive part in what's happening, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of little things as well that you don't realize are you forming connections. Like there's a lot of like Charlene and I fucking karaoke singing every time we walked around. I'm surprised Dan managed to cut it all out because we were like literally walking around singing all the time. And like just all of those little things that you have with people, like Brad and I going off and talking shit with each other about our tribe, well, my tribe, basically. I was quite critical of them. Like it's the little things, and I think Brendan works well in a big group. I think the one-on-one connections is a struggle from what I saw on the day and what I'm watching back.
I'm glad that Dan got rid of you and Charlene doing karaoke for our sake.
Well, you know what? I'll just do it in the car. So
no.
All right. Okay. I think Ash. Before we move on to our last segment, which is Mary.
Oh, the one I'm not allowed to be a part of. Yeah.
Yes. But you get to participate in a touchy subject. So, like, okay, between me and Josh.
Oh, yay! Okay, yeah.
I didn't know this was happening.
I'm so excited.
Who is the GOAT in the game? Like, who will you think, like, if we play a live game together, who you think has the more potential to be the GOAT? Your GOAT is up for your interpretation. Can we go those all time?
I think. Oh my god, this is about to destroy a friendship. I can't wait. Josh is gonna have a like fucking joyful time hearing this. I think that Josh is way too assertive to be a GOAT, and he likes to be the egotistical, narcissistic headmaster of the game, which he knows. I've told him that. So I think that he is definitely not going to fall into the GOAT category, although sometimes his ego gets in the way and makes him think that he's playing better than he is. So I think that Josh could be a GOAT in that respect, where he thinks he's running the game, but he's actually not, and he's being perceived differently. However, Vince, I think that you fall into... I've said this about... Oh, God, I can't say this on a podcast, can I? I'm going to get fucking cancelled.
Cancel yourself, Ashley. Okay, you've done it before. That's fine.
So minorities and fat people... I can say this because I'm fat, okay? Minorities and fat people always are taken, if they get to merge, then they have a good run. If they can't, like, pre-merge is their biggest fucking problem. So I think, Vince, once you get to merge, you can play the under the radar game that Josh can't because of his ego. So I think it's easier to look at Vince as a GOAT, but he's not a GOAT, and it's easier for Josh to become a GOAT, but not look like a GOAT to himself. Basically.
Really well said. I that's a really good assessment.
Josh hates it. I can't wait.
What's your touchy subject question to Ash?
Yeah, Josh.
Who do you like more?
Neither of you. You both suck. I like Dan, and I like Liv, and I like Charlene, and I like Brad, and I like all of the cast. Oh my god, they're all gonna hate me because I didn't say. Okay, I like the whole cast. I don't like either of you. I think you're both.
No, I think that's a really political answer. Can you just name one person you like? Only one person you can name on your cast.
Okay.
If you had to play again with one person, let's do that.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, don't I get a question about that from last time?
Yeah, no. Okay, if you can choose who you want to cut from this, who you don't want to play with ever from your cast. Again. Yeah. You don't want to see them again.
Brendan. I think, okay, but here's the thing. I know Brendan way too well. I've seen him play multiple times. I know how he plays. I've played with him twice now. I don't want to see him play again. Oh, no, not that. I don't want to play with him again because I know what he's fucking doing. Whereas all the other people, I've never seen them play before. So they're more intriguing to want to see come back.
You don't think, though, people change their game when they play the next time? Like, People always say you play the game you played last game. Like people always say that. Like I played a winning game last time, so like the next game I play, I'll probably win. Like people have like that's how I've seen like things play out in like.
Josh, I think you have to base on people's personality. Like I can't go out and be that big person because I'm not. Like that's not who I am. So it's like if you say like people changing the game, like what do you think? What are you based on changing? Like, do you want to be a different person? Like this person?
No, I think people learn from their mistakes. Yeah, so they learn. Yeah, I think people learn from like, okay, last game I played, I was too much of a dictator, so I change it up for the next time I play. You know what I mean? So like, and there's things that you learn. And when I was first boot, the next game I played, I came 6th or 5th. I can't remember the number.
Oh my god, Josh, we made it so far without you mentioning being first boot. Now you ruin it. But that's what I've learned, right? I've learned from like that point. I had to be assertive or sort of semi-assertive in the first vote, so I wasn't the first boot, right? So that's what I learned in my last game I played, and I feel like fuck you both. All right, Josh. Okay, Josh. Do you have you said you want to ask everyone in the post match that question?
Yeah. So if you had to choose 2 people, 2 females, 2 males from this cast that you want to see play again in like an All Stars or like second chances type season, who would you want? And don't tell me why. Just tell me who you want. We're running out of time.
I don't care. You've got 15 minutes.
No, we still have to do it.
Yeah, I know. You've kiss, marry, kill. I'm well aware I'm not welcome to that. I would say I want Brad to come back and play again. And I would like Keegan I've seen play that many times, and I'm always impressed by his game, but I don't want to see him come back because he's played so many. So
me either. I'm done with Keegan. I've seen him too much. He's played way too many games. Yeah, that's what you're thinking, though. That's fine. It's okay, Keegan. That's what she thought.
I would say Brad and probably, I'd love to see Aston play again. I think everybody has that perception because I feel like if he was on a tribe that didn't go to tribal so much, he would dominate. And I said it later in the game too, that I love Aston and I want him back. I think for women, it's a hard pick because Brad's voted them all out. But if I had to pick 2, it would probably be obviously Charlene because I think we really underestimated her on the day in terms of how big a part her social game played in things. Because watching it back now, like I thought that I could have won against Brendan and Charlene, and now watching it back, I'm like, wow, maybe I couldn't have won against them. But I'd say Charlene and Karleen. Yeah.
Because you voted her out?
Because I voted her out and that was mean.
No,
I have a lot somewhere.
You don't see Alex back?
Because you did that.
Look, Alex, you know my opinions on that whole situation. Yup. No, I don't really. Because I don't think she'd enjoy it as much as the rest of us, to be honest.
Apparently, Josh thinks it's okay to quit if you are emotional.
Look, Vince, I agreed with you the whole time. And we actually watched that episode together with my auntie, me and Josh. And on the ride home, we had a solid conversation about Alex and the whole situation. So, yeah. Yep.
Well, and then
I won't go into a tangent because I'll go into a tangent about this.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
Just leave it as it is.
Okay.
Thank you, Ash. Thank you. We can schedule we can do a recap together with the Backout Survivor coming up. Yes, I'm gonna drop that as well.
You can keep Ashley. You can keep Ash here for this next one if you really want to.
Yeah, I want to stay.
Okay. You want to stay? All right. Okay. All right. No, Backout Survivor. It's on. They released an announcement. It's a Backout Survivor Redemption. We see all the first boots coming back together from the first 3 seasons. So it'll be great to have. We can finally mention Josh being a first boot because it's really relevant to. It
is relevant
to what the season is. So we're gonna.
This is why people will learn from their mistakes from the first time they played. And the 3 people that returned will be excellent. I can feel it.
Let us know when you figure out your mistakes.
Okay.
No, I think people will work out their mistakes and then go really far with it. Like,
all right,
they probably won't win, but.
All right, okay. Let's move on to Mary Kill. Stay on subject. Okay. Where you want to start, Virgil?
Let's kiss people.
Okay, kiss. Go.
I will kiss Brad.
Mm-hmm.
This episode because he threw out the Ash name and realized his position in the game and didn't want to take another. He didn't want to take an attacking spot in this tribal. He needed to play defensive, and he did it correctly.
Yeah. On Brad, I want to marry Brad because I think his stock just went up again. He keep building up. I don't know if Jeremy would turn on him. So I think it's come down to Hoppo, Charlene, and Ben willing to take Brad out.
Here's the thing with Jeremy though. Like, is Jeremy just gonna be like? Is Jeremy the GOAT? Compared to Brad, like he's played. Yeah, at the moment I feel it. Yeah, because I feel like he's just going along with Brad's plans. That's the edit. That's the edit giving it to us. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but that's
Jeremy has a social game. That's what he has.
Yeah, he does. He has a social game. He has a lot of connections with a lot of people. He does that quite well.
Yeah.
Okay. We're marrying or killing?
Well, no, I mentioned my marry. I haven't mentioned my kiss, but who are you going to marry? I'll say on top.
Oh, that was your marry. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my marry.
My marry is Brendan.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't get over the fact that he was able to get all the information for this tribal after he just got told that he is the GOAT and nobody wants him to win. So everyone just gives him the information. It makes no sense. It means that there is some trust there still with Brendan, and I don't get it. He also got out the only other person that probably would, like,
despise
he's him? No, not despised him. That's the wrong word. But he like, he put himself in the middle.
He did.
He's completely in the middle. He can go whichever way he wants. And he'll make it to the final 3 now. I cannot see him not making it. Will he get votes?
Yeah,
I think if the right jury was there and actually respected some gameplay, he'll get a couple.
Well, obviously,
if he can speak well at Tribal Council, at Final Tribal, if he can speak well, I think he deserves a couple of votes.
Well, staying on the topic of Hoppo, I want to kiss Hoppo because he's the decision maker in this one, and then I think him flipping also sort of help him preserve it, just in case they do, put votes on Hoppo. He essentially same himself, I think, in a way. I don't know what he thinks and like the splitting part. So, changing his vote last minute also preserve him, and that's the longevity of his game. So we're down to kill.
Ben.
Yes.
I do not agree with anything he did this episode. It makes no bloody sense. None of it. Okay.
Mine's different than you.
No sense.
I think
none of it makes sense. That's all I'm saying.
I think he picked the right combination, but execution, I don't think he get anything out of it, the whole situation. He doesn't. Only thing he get it is from, okay, I want to vote Ash, but he doesn't like change their mind. Like, okay, why not? Like, I want Hoppo. Can we work? Like, he mentioned it. He wants Hoppo out. Where is the agenda? Why don't you put forward Hoppo? Like, why are you not pushing for it?
The thing is, though, he went to the 2 bottom people and said he wanted Hoppo gone, and they were like, nah, we don't want him gone. We still want Ash gone. And the fact he still could have put across his idea to the 2 people on the bottom doesn't matter. Like, he has no pull there. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Part of the reason why Hoppo was in Ben's... Okay, I don't know what Ben's thinking, but part of the reason I think he was on Ben's mind as a boot was because from merge all the way through to my boot, I was preaching to the fucking gods that Hoppo is a snake, he is threatening, and I threw him right under the bus because as Karleen left, she had said to me, I got told to watch out for you, and I was like, who the fuck would have said that? It would have been Hoppo. So, yeah, that's probably why it was on Ben's mind. I don't actually know, but that's possibly a decent reason.
I just can't believe that he had the idea of going there, like, let's take out Hoppo, and then none of them agreed. They're just like, nah, we're going for Ash, even though they don't have numbers. Yeah. It makes no sense. That's why I don't think he should have taken both.
Now, okay, we all disagree on that.
Do you think if he took Charlene, then Charlene would have convinced the other person he took, either Jeremy or Brad, that they should go for Hoppo? Is that
100%? Yeah, 100%. 100%. If Ben wanted an idea to go to the end, like without Brendan, right? He uses his number one, and then you've got Brad or Jeremy, whoever he chooses there, thinking, okay, cool, there's a guaranteed 2 votes here in Hoppo, right? I can at least draw the vote, and I can potentially pull in Jeremy or Brad, whichever opposite one didn't go.
I agree, actually.
Or he done the wrong.
It doesn't make any sense. He just went there with like no backbone. Like there's no backbone. Like he was just like floppy. He was just like there like this, and there was nothing. There's no life. He couldn't bring life into the conversation.
Or he should have taken Ash and Hoppo and leave Charlene and Jeremy.
Yeah, or that. Yeah. Or that. You and Hoppo would have great time having sausages together. It'd be great. Good content.
I think also I don't think he plays with Brad as well. I think he wants to be.
Are you guys now agreeing with me that he should have taken somebody else with him?
No, I feel like he made the right decision. It's just that his execution's really, really bad. He could have pushed Hoppo.
No, he didn't have any say in that conversation. He was like going up against two.
I agree with part of what you're saying. I think that what you're saying is legit. If he had have taken somebody else who don't get a fucking smirk and a big ego about me.
No, I just read Hoppo's message.
Oh, okay. But like, I agree. I think if he took someone else who was also happy to vote Hoppo, and then those two ganged up on the one person, then yes, that one person would have gone back to either Brad or Jeremy would have gone back to the other and said, okay, these two have just pitched this to me. That's what we have to do. I agree with that. But Ben is Ben.
He didn't care because he has immunity, really, to be honest.
With the right person, it's a right move. But this happens to be with Ben, and then it just sort of flopped.
He's just showing his cards, like he's just like, he's all my strategy. It's all out in the open. Everyone has it. Like playing his idol at the merge, like makes no sense. He was definitely not in target at all. Like there's just so many times it's just like, dude, like what are you doing?
No, but I do want to.
You know, he's also been immune the whole merge. Just saying.
No, also you want to pick we said that if Charlene with Ben and Jeremy, Charlene would have pushed that, they would have listened to Charlene. So it comes down to the person. Like I think if Charlene was able to communicate with Ben or Brad and Jeremy, I think they would have listened a little bit more. I don't know if they want to flip, but
that's because.
Well, you also see at the very start of the episode that Charlene and Jeremy now have a very tight bond from that tribal where they had just watched Alex quit, which was quite emotional. And hence why Charlene and I were up in the gazebo or whatever it was, the shelter, for like a couple, 10 minutes, because it was like decompressing from all that. And she was very close to Jeremy after that, from my perspective. Mm-hmm. So it's fair to think that he would have listened to her if she had said, I want to vote for Brendan, and so does Ben. So vote with us.
So say, for example, if Ben takes Charlene and Jeremy, Hoppo goes this episode.
Yeah. Possibly, because then I would have had a chance to talk to Brad, who wouldn't have reacted so desperately and out of retaliation. It would have been like, okay, correct. Brad, calm the fuck down. Like I'm not going after you.
Well, these hypotheticals are great, but you went home anyway. So
exactly.
But I also want to raise a point that Ben could have approached Charlene and then trying to push Hoppo together, but I don't think he did that. I think he just let the vote go to Ash. As it is, he just
because he couldn't get any traction in that conversation because he had no backbone.
Yeah, he just backbone. As long as not me, I don't care. Like Ash can go, Brendan Hoppo can go. There's no real push. I
don't necessarily think that's true because then he put the 2-2-2 out, so he realized he wasn't getting traction. He was like, okay, I still don't want Ash to go, so this is the other option. So I don't think he necessarily cared, but he also did care a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, he did not want Ash to go this episode at all.
I do agree.
He had all the power. He had all the power, and he failed at his job.
Yeah, and then you guys have 4-2. I think it's yeah.
No, I think it was 2-1-3. I think it was 3-2-1 sort of.
Well, anyway, yeah, I agree, but
Hoppo's not in with them.
I feel like going in, Ben has a lot of connection. He has a lot of tools that he can use, but I just don't think he use them correctly.
So Vince, are you feeling Ben?
No, yeah, Ben, yeah, because Ben has Charlene, number one, and then they have connection with you and Hoppo, and he win immunity. He get to choose who to go to reward. Like all these line up for him, and then he still doesn't able to get what he wants at the end. So, again, I think that's it for today. Anything else we want to spill?
Yeah, I want to say no. This isn't like tea. Don't get too excited, boys.
Okay, and the phone call.
Fuck off. I just want to say, I doubt that they're watching, but fucking Dan and Liv absolutely gave me an edit that I did not deserve. For the amount of stupid shit that I did. And I just wanted to thank them because I like literally was the designer of my own catastrophe, and Dan really like made me look like I wasn't a fuck up, even though I made some pretty fucking appalling moves like the idol clue and everything else. But thanks to Dan and to Liv and to all of the fucking people who put this shit together. Like, seriously, they're incredible and iconic, and I love them, and I'm obsessed with the season 1 cast and crew. You have no idea. I bother them so much. It's great.
And thank you, Vince, as well, for having Ash on the podcast.
Yeah, and us, for having
and thank you, Josh and Vince. That's fine. No worries.
Vince literally messaged me and was like, "Just join for the whole time." Like, oh, okay, so thanks, Vince.
No. Also to me and Josh, because we spend an hour almost every week to promote the season.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Ash.
Thanks,
give everyone a chance to air out their dirty laundry. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, thanks for letting us all like talk shit about each other. Appreciated.
I think that's it. Josh, have you contacted Karleen regarding?
Oh god. Sorry, I had busy day work. I will contact her first thing tomorrow morning to see if she's free tomorrow night. We will get it. We will get it. I feel horrible, but like it's not my fault. Her internet isn't working.
Seriously, well, women that get to join the podcast, like Carly needs to be on it because Brad's voting is. I know. Nobody's joining the podcast.
I know because they're afraid that Brad's in the message in the comments.
It's for real, yeah. It's a real
fear. Like walk around the corner, there's Brad. That's it. Like, oh no!
Oh my god.
All right. I think that's it, and thanks for watching us. We're back next. Are you busy next week?
No, I can do Wednesday night.
Okay. All right. Okay. We'll be back next Wednesday. Hopefully,
Tuesday. I can do Tuesday, Wednesday night. Yeah.
Hopefully the person is able to do a Wednesday night. Sorry for the changing of scheduling. It's just hard to get people that free and on. Everyone has lives, so.
Even if it's earlier, like even if it's like Saturday or Sunday night, or
we'll work it out. We'll so 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
My guess it might be Charlene, to be honest. If I had to choose somebody to go home next episode, I don't see Hoppo straying from them boys. Yeah,
Hoppo's not going to win with those two, so I don't.
He's not going to win in any. He's not going to win in any correlation.
But why would you want to go with blue people?
Well, he might want to go to the end with 2 blue guys because all the red are on the jury. He might think he might be able to get some votes that way.
That is true. All right.
So like we don't want a blue person to win. We want a red tribe member to win. That's
no, blue can win. Brad can win. Brad's my winner pick, so I want him to win.
Yeah, I can't see Brad.
What out all the women, Brad?
Whoa.
Okay. Vince. I see you.
This turned into a misogynist.
Unite the girls and the gays. You just
this turned into a misogynist phone call.
It's a joke. Josh, you made far worse joke than this. Anyway, I don't want to get cancelled. Okay, good night.
Bye.
All right, bye. See you next week.